everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping in. In today's video, we are keeping it simple. We're going to be making 4 recipes, but we're only using 5 ingredients. So let's go ahead and get to the kitchen and get cooking. First off, we're going to be making Italian zucchini boats. Over at my stove, I'm going to begin by cooking up some Italian sausage. I'll use my meat masher to help me break up the meat into small pieces. Before my meat is cooked all the way through, I'm going to be adding in some Italian style breadcrumbs. I'll be using a total of 1 cup of the breadcrumbs, but I'm starting out by just mashing in a half a cup. Then I'll add in the other half. Again, I'm using my meat masher just to make sure that I'm really incorporating the breadcrumbs into the meat. Okay, so at this point I have a pretty dry consistency, so now I'm going to be adding in my marinara sauce. I have the Good and Gather brand today from Target. You can use any kind of marinara that you choose here. Now I'm going to go ahead and start stirring this meat mixture together. I'm going to be sure to scrape the bottom of the pan because sometimes those breadcrumbs do tend to make the meat want to stick to the bottom. Once the mixture starts to bubble, I'm going to go ahead and lower the heat and let it simmer. So over here to my cutting board, I'm going to be cutting up 6 zucchinis in half. This is a great meal if you have some summer zucchini that you need to get rid of. This is a perfect way to do that. So I cut those in half, and then I take a spoon and I use the spoon to hollow out the center of the zucchini to make the boat. Now I do like to save the center pieces of the zucchini off in a bowl because I'll be using that here in just a bit over in my meat. Back over at my stove, I'm going to be adding in about 2 to 3 cups of those zucchini centers and use my meat masher just to kind of mash it up and mix it into that meat. Over on my prepared baking sheet, I'm going to go ahead and add in the meat mixture onto the zucchini boats, spreading it out as evenly as possible. I did prepare my baking sheet with foil just to help with cleanup. Once the boats are loaded with the meat mixture, I went ahead and sprinkled some of those Italian style breadcrumbs on the top. I finished off with some shredded mozzarella cheese. Next, I put it in a 350-degree preheated oven for 30 to 40 minutes until the cheese was brown on top. It may not be the most beautiful dish, but it's absolutely delicious. And it leaves you feeling full but not feeling weighted down, and I love that. We served ours with a copycat Olive Garden style salad. And one of the best parts about these is that you can take them for lunch the next day. They make great leftovers. Next up, we're making chicken and a biscuit. Start off, over in my Instant Pot, I'm going to be preparing some chicken thighs. Normally I'd be using chicken breast for this recipe, however my grocery store did not have any. So for the chicken thighs, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of butter, salt, pepper, and a half a cup of water. Over to my stove, I'm adding in 1 can of cream of mushroom and 1 can of cream of chicken. You can use whatever cream of soups for these that you would like. However, this is what I had in my pantry, so I chose to use these 2. Alright, so next up I'm going to be adding in 8 ounces of cream cheese. My grocery store did not have regular cream cheese, so they substituted with this cashew milk cream cheese, and actually it didn't taste too bad, so yeah, we'll give it a shot. In my bowl, I'm just going to make sure to stir this around really good and combine the ingredients as it's heating up. Now I'm going to move over here into a medium bowl. I'm going to be pouring in that gravy mixture along with 3 cups of the shredded chicken from my Instant Pot. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in some Italian seasoning or Italian dressing. I have this Olive Garden and we've just been hooked on this lately. So 3 tablespoons of wet Italian seasoning or 1 packet of dry Italian seasoning. I'm going to give it a good mix and then we'll go ahead and start preparing our chicken pockets. Over here on my baking sheet, I covered it with foil and then gave it a little wipe with some oil. And now I'm going to be taking some crescent rolls and giving it about 1 spoonful of that chicken gravy mixture. Then I'm going to go ahead and take each side and kind of fold it together to seal that the sides, and then roll it and seal it up to where it makes a little pouch. Now there isn't a perfect way to do this and it does get a little messy at times, but don't worry about it. If some of it kind of spills out a little bit, it's totally fine and it's still gonna taste amazing. You could get really creative with these chicken pockets and add in some jalapenos, diced green chilies, or green onions to make it even more fun. I baked these in the oven as directed on the back of the crescent package, and this is what they came out like. Absolutely beautiful. Here's my plate of food. We served with a side Caesar salad. This meal is absolutely delicious and a family favorite. Now we're making one of my husband's favorite dinners, chicken and guac taquitos. I'm going to start by preparing some chicken in my Instant Pot. Then I'm going to head over to the stove and heat up a couple of cans of refried beans. Now I'm going to butter my baking sheet. I like to use butter just because it gives it that flaky texture that my family loves, but you could definitely use spray for this. Alright, now everything's heated up so we can start to prepare the taquitos. I will be using a burrito sized taquito today just because the store did not have any of the small flour tortillas, but I do recommend using the smaller ones. I'm going to start by putting a layer of refried beans, then I'll add in some guacamole. I'm going to use some shredded cheddar cheese. Pepper jack would be great too. And then I'll add in some shredded chicken and go ahead and roll it up. Buttering the top of these just to give it that brown flaky texture that we love. You could either spray it or just leave it plain. I'm going to put it in a preheated 425-degree oven for 15 to 25 minutes or until flaky. Such a simple and delicious meal. We topped ours with avocado salsa and cherry tomatoes. Now for one of my favorite meals, rice and bean burrito bowl. I'm going to start over at my stove with a drained can of corn into my pan and a can of black beans that have not been drained into my pot. I'm going to be heating these on medium heat. To my corn, I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Over to my beans, I'm going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning. While my beans are heating, I'm going to continue to cook my corn until it is blackened. I want to make sure that my corn does not start to pop. If it does, I'll just lower the heat. To keep it simple and within the 5 ingredients, I'll be using this Great Value Spanish style rice. I'm going to cook it as directed on the package for 90 seconds in the microwave. Can't beat that. Now that all of my ingredients are heated, I can start preparing my burrito bowl. I'm going to start by putting my rice on the bottom of my bowl, and then I'm going to add in my black beans and follow up with some of my roasted corn. I'm going to be using this Fiesta style cheese, but any shredded cheese would work perfectly fine. And to top it off, I'll be using some guacamole salsa. just can't beat this super simple burrito bowl, and it tastes so delicious. We topped ours with purple onion, cherry tomatoes, a little squeeze of lime juice, and a dollop of sour cream. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope that you enjoyed and found some inspiration to keep it simple in the kitchen. And as usual, I will be leaving the ingredients down in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.